And hello, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon. This is Joseph, the Creative Tech, here in the home studio. How's everybody doing today? Today we have a great session. We're going to talk about workspaces. Again, we are all about the modern workforce. We love what we do, and we want to help others find the thing that they love doing and get to it. Let's just make it happen. So I am flying solo today. Cole is off doing some yard work that he has to get done. He said it's imperative that it gets done. So it was way more important than all of you viewers. So just remember that next time he's here, give him a lot of shit for it. We want to give him lots of shit. No, I'm just kidding. This is really just my platform. This is something that I'm doing, and I really enjoy it when I have somebody here to bounce off of and discuss things with. Yeah, it's good practice, and it's good. It's just, it builds some really good confidence when you're talking on camera and what we're doing here. So if you're not familiar with myself, Joseph Sunderman, I'm an entrepreneur here in Cincinnati, and basically, I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I love technology. I love helping people, and I love creativity. I mean, I dropped out of high school to be in bands and play music, and that didn't really quite work out. I'm almost 45 years old now. I'm a big kid. I like to play, and business is going really well for me. I've started a couple other companies, and right now I'm doing my best to manage all the stresses in life, and as I build that out, and as I get good at marketing my businesses and doing things, this creative tech venture here that you're looking at is this is us practicing getting good for bigger things. But who knows? This whole creative tech thing could take off, and if it does, I'm excited about it. By all means, the work we're doing here will be used for iCore. So with all that being said, giving you the kind of overview what Sessions is. Sessions, we pick one focus every week. We have 3 topics, and this week's focus happens to be workspaces. Where we work, how we work, what we're working with. All these things will be discussed today. And how can they help you? How will this show help you? Well, if you're a creative tech or somebody that wants to go down the creative tech road, essentially what we're doing is we're building a network where we're saying, hey, everybody, if you're advanced and you think that you're on your grind and you're good at this, we want you a part of the crew, because we're going to help those that want to get to the level that we're at. All right. If you're a beginner and you don't think, you just like watching this kind of stuff, you don't think you can get into it, like seriously, you could do whatever you want to do. It's pretty crazy. That guy on TikTok, you can do whatever you want. Nobody's going to stop you. You can just do stuff. That guy, the beard. Yeah. Anyway. If you guys know who I'm talking about, please let me know, all 0 of you. I have no clue what I'm doing. Anyway, workspaces, and we're going to go over how their purposes, how we design our workspace, and then how we can use our workspace to collaborate with others, which should be thought of during the design phase. But we get into collaboration and how wonderful it can be once you get your workspace going, and how it collaborates with your community and the rest of the world. So without further ado, let's go ahead and celebrate the fact this is the 12th episode. Yeah, we've had 12 episodes in a row. This is the 12th Saturday in a row that we've consistently hit this. Now, there was one Saturday that we had an hour late, and that was very early on, and it hasn't happened again. And there's been rumblings going around now that we're getting these descriptions. Every show we have documentation that we do for the show to help those that are going to be on the show know what we're talking about and to bring everybody full circle. These are the systems I'm building to make this whole machine run. So I want you all to be, if you have questions on why we're doing things or how we're doing things, and if you think you can help make it better, like that's the experiment here. The great creative tech experiment is this tribe that we're creating or building where we are working to help each other be better. So, 12 episodes, and we have a lot of projects that we're going on right now. We have full-time jobs. Will Story has a full-time job, and he's on his grind on the personal side. Cole Chase has a full-time job, and he's on his grind on the personal side. And myself, I have 40 plus companies that we support their technology and their strategy, and not all of them are working with us to the level of, hey, manage everything for us, but we're getting there. And it's really cool seeing building these systems and how you can document things that will become content, and you can use that content to train others and to share your vision. And there's so many dots are connecting so late in life for me. I hate it, but at the same time, it's like, don't sit there and even put something on LinkedIn this week about, don't get too caught up in the fact that, you may be late to the game. As long as you still move and you still feel good, we got a lot of work to do. No sense in sitting around bitching about it. So, all right, workspaces. Where do you work? Are you required to go to a workplace? Now, when I say workspace, I'm purposefully saying workspace, not workplace, because the workplace to me is a place you go to work. An office building, a factory, a warehouse, a construction site. These are workplaces. You go to this place to do your work. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about workspaces. A construction site is a workspace, but you also could, run a crane. Your workspace is inside that crane, and making sure your workspace is solid for the work you do. And maybe you have multiple cranes, and your workspace is out in the field. You driving your truck to one excavation machinery to the next. That's a bad analogy. Again, we come up with these great discussions and topics, and we really don't go too deep into it because we want to have a genuine, organic conversation around it when we get here. So when we start talking about workspaces, we're talking about the overall general idea of workspaces. Not workplaces, but workspaces. What does it look like? What do you need in your surroundings to do that? And what's your preferred work that you do? And how do you configure your workspace? We're going to talk about different purposes and different workspaces, like I did with the stupid machinery analogy just a moment ago. We'll bounce around a few ideas there and talk about the different purposes and different types of workspaces. Then we're going to dig into the design of a workspace, what to consider when you're designing it, and then how you put that workspace to use and collaborate with others and do what you do. All right. Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's talk about the projects that Will's and Cole's been working on. I know Will, he's starting to seem like he's just going to become a guest every now and then, as opposed to a co-host. He's really busy, which is a good thing. It really is, and I know that we will be working together on other projects. He's going to be a part of the creative tech, even though he's not part of the live sessions show. There's a lot to what we're doing here, guys. And we're working on spotlights right now, which spotlights we're going to be doing them on hardware, software, hard skills, soft skills, and people. So, anything that needs a spotlight video where we do like a good 10 minute to 30 minute deep dive spotlight on that person, thing, whatever it may be. And I know he's going to be helping edit and create those, just like Cole. He's already working on making spotlight videos, one of his projects. In fact, let's go ahead and get ready to share. If I would be good at this, I'd already have my screen sharing ready and everything ready to plug and know exactly what I'm going to talk about before we start talking. We'll get there. The Delta, everybody, the Delta. We didn't even have, if you look here, if you look here at this, we have our agenda here for today's show, and then we have our document that gives us a description, and this description is on every YouTube, whatever it may be. So having this agenda is helping out tremendously, and I forgot why I was even going down that tangent. I need to stick to the script. Remember, Joe, you have a script. Stick to it. I'm sharing my screen because I want to show you guys Cole's. And this music is so loud. Look at me go. Yeah. All right. So that was a fumble. Hold on. Bring it on over here. Make her full screen. All right. So this is William's last project. I'm not going to stream the whole thing because, I'm sure there's some kind of rules against that to some degree somewhere. Boop, 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 boop. So let's go ahead and push play here. So this song is called Broken Man. So another release will just, they shot this a few, like last month or something like that. And it just now got released by the label, but great job, Will. This is one of his projects that he's done in the last few weeks, and it was just released yesterday, I believe. And then he got to go, and I let him borrow a few lenses, and I also let him borrow this little guy, the Insta360 X4. This little bad boy is a beast. But the shit show of that whole thing is he hasn't gotten releases yet from the publishing company that hired him for the shoot. We're not allowed to share anything until they release. Yeah, so that's under wraps, under embargo at the moment. We're waiting on some of that to show everybody some of the workings that we've done, which is exciting. I know I couldn't help out with any of these recent projects. I've been overwhelmed with business, but again, I love the fact that Rigid 6, Creative Tech, and hopefully at some point Icora is working with Will and his crews and whatnot to some degree. And as we all evolve over time, as long as we stay solid at the Creative Tech, Icora, and Rigid 6, and we're always there and consistent and prompt when needed, which we are. Yeah, there's no reason not to go to us unless something better and shinier comes out. And I try to keep it pretty shiny, y'all. Yeah, so there's that. Hold on. We need to come back to this because we need to go check out Mr. Cole Chase's video that he did. So Cole's working on yard work, like I said earlier, and he released this video. This is his latest release. I remember when we first started this series here, he hadn't released his first video yet. That was 12 weeks ago, 3 months. And he was going to release one video every week. And I was like, you are nuts if you think that's going to happen. We're doing 1 hour live shows with minimal prep right now, and it's a struggle to do these 12 shows in a row like this. So he moved it to once every 2 weeks. He's like, you got me. You're right. Yeah. And I was like, even every 2 weeks is going to be tough. I'm rooting for you. Let me know if I can do anything to help. But I still feel like you're going to be rough. And he has landed on every 3 weeks, and that feels like a good vibe for him. I'm like, really, you should just do once a month and maybe start doing more live shows. Like, here I am coaching and trying to help. And again, I'm not trying to be shitty or tell people what to do. I see what they're doing and say, oh, I bet you if you did this, you'd get positive results, the results you're wanting. I guess I do it because I'm trying to help. And I shouldn't always try to. That's part getting old. You start to learn Joe, you're a dick, and here's how you're a dick. So, and I really like his workspace, and he's actually made a video about turning his garage into a workspace, how he, everything from the floor to the ceiling, how he did all of it. So this is a great workspace. So these are the projects our guys are working on right now, which I think are awesome. They're knocking out videos on YouTube. My videos are not edited or working with bands or polished on a single focus on something like this. I know this is kind of all over the place, but the discussion here, what we're going over, what we're talking about is relevant. And I think it all does come together and tie together. My place in all this is being the beacon for quality and control, and trying my best to be a good resource for everybody around me. So, yeah, that's what we've been up to. That's where we are with things currently. And if I want to, we'll go over here and take a look here. My projects that I've been working on, again, you see these videos, you can see the last 11 videos before this one. I do post personally from time to time, but that's not something I'm like really working on or trying to get any traction on. My projects I'm working on right now is getting my MTP, getting it locked down, and getting the website done. So I'm trying to get my website done. I may even said last week, I'll try to have something to show you guys on the website. Like, you have no idea how hard it is. There's so much to do. You got your website, you got everybody else's website, you got everybody else's servers, you got your own servers, you got books, you got to get your books updated, you got to get your taxes done. There's so much to do on everybody's plates. Everybody has their agenda. How can we bring it all together? How can we make it work? Well, first of all, we start with our workspace. We need a place to do the work in. Now we're jumping into the focus, just so everybody's aware. My workspace is here, as you can tell. I don't know how much I've really shown off my workspace. This is the couch where my puppies are usually hanging. This is a light here, and there's a light over there. Right here is where I stand. That's pretty much stupid. But, pretty sure you can't hear me if I'm all the way over here. So, let's do one of those walking around talking head shots thingy pops. So I'm a blurry YouTuber. Trying to get myself in focus. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to have a place where we can work and not feel. How often do you get distracted when you're trying to watch a show or something when everybody's at the house? Like in the evenings and everybody's in their rooms and everybody's quiet, you can lay down, you can probably not have distractions. But if it's in the middle of the day, things are going crazy, and we all work in the middle of the day when everybody's up and lively and up and at it. So having a workspace that's in a dungeon like a basement, like myself here, can be very depressing and suck the life out of your character and make you not want to be motivated to do jack shit. And if that's you, well, listen up. We want your workspace to work for you. So, what is it that you're doing? Are you a writer? Are you somebody that analyzes things? Do you do data entry? Are you creating things? Do you make things with your hands? Do you have to use, chemicals to do your job? Do you have torches? Do you work with power equipment? Like what is the purpose? What's the purpose of the workspace? What are we doing, right? That's pretty easy. Now, when we get into the creative tech world and technology, things have changed over times. If you look at my stupid little picture from today's thumbnail or whatever, I told AI to give me a picture where the left side of the room is from the 1800s and the right side of the room is from 2400, and give me, let's see that delta. It's the same job they're doing. It's the same products being done, but this is the same workspace, same things being done, but in today's era. I have no idea what the product is in that image. I don't know what they're making. But I do like how it clearly shows on the left-hand side people using tech of their times. On the right, you see the same thing, people using tech of their times. It all comes to the middle where the energy source is in the room. I don't know how AI came up with all that. I didn't prompt it anything crazy other than say on the left-hand side of the room, make it look like it's old, right side of the room, make it look new, and make it look like they're doing the same thing. It's a time warp. And I'm pretty happy with what it spit out. It kind of talks about the point I'm trying to make here is your workspace is essentially where you go into a little world to create and do or whatever it is that you need to work on. And that workspace should amplify what you do. It should make it better or make it easier or more fluid or give you some kind of inspiration, something to that degree. So depending on what we're doing, I like the blowing glass or something around those terms where you have, the Bunsen burners or whatever kind of torches they're using to, blow glass. And then they got the big things where they're, basically baking a big thing of glass. It comes out in a big glob. And I don't know anything about glass blowing. I just think it's cool. But we have this neon sign place here in Cincinnati. And I believe, hold on, Joe, did you break something? Nope. Where'd my music go? There we go. I believe, like walking into that studio and seeing that workspace where they have tablets and computers off in the corners, but there are benches and there's glass everywhere. Like it's modern, but yet there's some very like legacy elements. Just it's still a craft, and it almost looked like an old ancient like workspace, but had all this amazing technology in it. And it wasn't that it was messy, it was organized, but because of the materials, it seemed messy. It was dirty to some degree. Anyway, I like the grid around it, and I like that it was they still found ways to make it creative and innovative and open. So I guess to me, if you have a workspace, the purpose of the workspace is going to determine what you have in your environment and all that good stuff. So, I'm looking at wanting to make videos on a regular basis. I want to be able to train people easily, share my screen, and record sessions with people, have amazing breakthroughs. You don't understand. In this setup right here, I'm working with business owners, and there has been like times where people get in tears because of the breakthroughs they have during our sessions. I love helping people have the light bulb go off and help them, and I can do that from this workspace. And I get a lot of compliments from my workspace too. That people will say, "Wow, I really like this. Looks really nice." And I tell them, I'm like, "Well, I want it to represent the quality of my brand. I want it to represent who I am. So when people see me and experience me through this method right here, I want it to be, powerful." And let's do this. Well, how's this look? Right? Like, is there a big difference here? Can you tell a big difference? Anyway. So understanding the purpose of your workspace is huge. I don't like to sit. I like to stand, and I'm on my feet like constantly. If I really need to sit down and grind on something like I got to later today, I'm going to sit right here at this machine, at this workstation, and I'm going to grind. I'm going to grind out. I'm going to get shit done. I put my headphones on sitting here, or I blare the music, and I plug in, and I got these big screens all over, and I can't, I'm focused. I'm in. I don't have things to distract me. I put myself, and that's another thing, is putting yourself in your workspace. Your computer is a workspace too. Your desktop on your machine. Let me go back to sharing. You know what? I like this camera. I might actually. I think it looks good. Can't monitor myself because the cameras are all hooked up to the monitors and stuff. I can't monitor myself that well, but hey, it's not too shabby. Hey. No, I kid. We going back to the good stuff. Here we go. Oh, that feels right. It just feels right. So, all right. That's the purpose. Let's do a time check. We're at 1:30. So we should be 5, 10, 15, 25. Hey, we're doing good. That's the end of topic 1. We're at 28 minutes. We're supposed to be done at 25 minutes. I mean, we're doing great. And I don't know how I'm doing as far as talking about the show. I'm probably shitty, but I think I like it. I like it a lot. So now that we have discussed topic 1, the purpose, the logistics around it, the persona of your workspace, and the tech that you need. Hopefully we talked about those things to some degree. Let's move on to the community discussion where we talk about what you can do as part of the community. Now, the creative tech group is not growing at all right now, and I'm aware of that. It's a problem. I know, and I'm not really engaging with it at all. That's on me. I need to do better. I need to find a way to get people interested in what I'm doing and to get them to see this. I can ask my friend, hey, will you do this? But they'll join the group, but will they actually follow through with things? Will they feel like it's helping them in any way? And unless I'm actually doing something to help them or giving them something, no. So here's what I can tell you. I want to try to get more engaging with people, so we're going to work on this worksheet thing. I've been talking about it for a minute. So let's go ahead and let's make sure we share that this week. And I'm going to go ahead and take a few minutes to walk through on this portion of the show. Let's walk through showing everybody where we're at. Because I know once we do this, I'll lay it out there, it's going to happen. Now, I think this is needed to get done because we need to start getting some traction. We need people to start signing things up and doing things. Oh, well, somebody reached out. Let me make sure I have audio. That sucks if I don't have audio right now. Check 1, 2. Mr. Justin Hamlin, I want to appreciate you for looking out, bro. It's awesome. Let's hope I don't have a problem. I sound like I'm yelling. I gotta quit doing that. This all is practicing, guys. How to scream. All right. Boop, 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 boop. So you can hear me, but you can't hear the audio of the bands. You can't hear the audio of any of the videos I'm playing. That's good to know. I think we've discussed that and found that out in the past, but Justin Hamlin, thank you for looking out and bringing that up. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was saying he couldn't hear any audio on me or on the videos that were playing in the background, but either way, I feel like we're good. I do have audio I found on the video, so I do want to get the audio working on the videos when we play them on here. I'm not sure why that doesn't do that. All right, so let's take a look at. So I got sidetracked there for a minute. Probably just threw us off time, but no worries, no worries. All good, all good. No stress in here. That's another thing is part of this whole creative tech thing that I'm doing. It's also about your mental health. Like a big part of it's personal development, and I don't want to. I mean, what's a good way to put this? I don't want somebody operating on me that's never operated before. Like, I wouldn't want. When I talk to a personal coach or somebody that's going to walk me through something, I want somebody that's been through it themselves, like a drug addict. If you're going to get better, having somebody that's never been through drugs or have experienced what it's like to go through true withdrawal or anything like that, to have somebody that's never experienced or had the heart that's lived that struggle, because people that have never been there, it's like it's like saying, oh, war's tough, man. Like with someone saying that and they've never been or lived in it. It's like, so for me, somebody that's been through some shit. All of us have gone through some things. Some of us that go through things, those things that we've went through have crippled us to some degree. We've allowed those things that have happened to us to stop us from moving forward in life. We've allowed those people that are hurting you and the ones that you love to even further their progress by allowing that bite's venom to linger and continue to hurt you because you're not able to move on from it. And what I'm trying to tell you is I want to help people get better because I've been through some shit, and I wouldn't want help from somebody that hasn't been through some shit. I wouldn't. And that's just me. And some people out there, they're okay. As long they trust someone's been trained in something, they have good perspective, they're going to trust them. And then you have people out there that don't even believe in personal development, coaching, advising, counseling, therapy, whatever you want to call it. I am no psychologist. I do not have any kind of medical experience or credentials. But what I could do is tell you that when someone fucks with you, the way we frame that internally to ourselves, the way we internalize the external shit that happens to us, that affects us. So figuring out who you are, what your purpose is, where you want to go in life, all these wonderful, great questions. Those are things that we're looking at answering here at the Creative Tech. So as we get members of the Creative Tech team to join the group, look at that, we got 12 shows now. We need to organize this list a little bit differently. Let's go look at this list. Let's take a look at our information. This is the portion of the show where we take a moment to look at the group. I want to sort from newer to older. So here's today's show. Okay, let's save this view as. That way, next time I come to the the live show tracker, boom, there's today's and down. Oh, this is the last show of May. We're going into June. That means we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 shows this month. We've had one, two, three, 4 shows in April, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in March. I guess we missed the first week of March. Anyway, I love seeing this data here that we've got, and it starts to help us see show after show. You can see where we first started. We didn't really have a structure, and we came up with the idea for structuring and aligning, and I decided to build this list. You can see the delta as we started to progress. Now you see how we have the descriptors being built. And not only that, I did something really cool with AI. I took AI and I built me an app. Yeah, here it is. I need to add a few more things to this. So this is our oh yeah. I'm putting together all of our documentation right now to get all of this lined out. That's not right. I could have sworn I had another one. I'm building this GPT so that way whenever we have a show, like I need to have a show for next week. I want to have it done already. And maybe we can do that if we wrap up today's show. I don't know. Stick to the script, Joe. Stick to the script. Oh, we got somebody else. Cheap viewers. I'm getting spam. I get more spam than I do actual viewers, I feel sometimes. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy all over. Love it. Want to get a little bit tighter on me. There we go. That way when I go, woo! Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Oh. All right. Yeah, so where am I at? What am I doing? Cancel what? Upload files. So, oh my God, what am I doing? Anyway, I got the damn list done. And what I want us to do now, and you can see how it's been progressing as we go. If we look at the influencers, this list has not made any traction since we first built it. And there's not a whole lot in here. But what I have done with the list is I've created. Oh. Why am I blowing up? Yep. This is why you're supposed to put yourself in do not disturb mode while you're on your calls, Joe. Come on. All right, back to forms. Let's find the creative tech 8 responses and doubts. So what happens is you fill out this form, it kicks off all the data from the form and puts it into this list now. And you can see Cold Chase. Yeah. Delete. Because Cold Chase is already in here, unless we're going to. Yeah, he doesn't have anything. Yeah, I know everybody's like this. I can't watch this guy. He's all over the place. Essentially, what I want everybody to do is to fill out this form right here. It looks like this. You fill this out. And to go ahead and get that started, if you guys fill that out for me, trust that this will be cool. And read it. I know now you're not. Now you got to do homework. Who's going to want to fucking do that? So everybody should be able to go and scan this QR code and fill this out. Let's go ahead and get that on the show now. Let's go ahead and choose photo. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting way off base here. I need to pull it in. I'll use AI to write this later. I'm not going to post this right now, but ideally, if you're run across this, please fill out this form. Let me know if you have any problems. I want to get people filling this out, because what we're essentially doing is we're going to have, as we get people's stuff in here, and feel free to email me a picture of yourself be used in the database, because you can't upload an image at this time due to the limitations of the Microsoft 365 and the form we're using. I'm not taking the time to build out a custom form that you can also upload your image in right now. We're trying to use the tools as they are out of the box. so that way other creative techs can use some of these tools the same way we do. We use 365 for communications in our platforms. Everything I'm building right now, all the apps we're building here to track all this, and to when someone fills out the form and it submits it puts their information in here, shoots them an email saying, hey, thanks for submitting the form, which I don't have that email created yet. That kicks out when the form's submitted. There's a lot of work to get done. So we're in beta. I wouldn't even call it beta testing. We're in alpha testing mode right now. So please, by all means, keep an eye out, fill out the form, send us your picture. Let's get a plethora of creative techs in this list. That way we can, when we look at your information compared to somebody else that's on this list, and let's say you want to go down the same path that one of these other creative techs are going down, they're much further ahead of you in their career and their expertise and their experience. What we can do is we can help you align better and get more focused on what they're, the things that they're doing and the things that can help you get to where they're going sooner. We don't cut corners here at the Creative Tech. We may do things that help us get to a perceived state quicker, but we're well aware of anything that is a shortcut, and shortcuts are band-aids. Shortcuts are there to help us in the current moment, but should not be relied upon for foundational growth. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, back to the show. So we have 10 minutes left to talk about two topics that normally take 10 minutes each. So let's cram in design. And we talked about design a little bit earlier, so I'm not too pressed about it. But design and collaboration. Designing your workspace to be able to collaborate well with others. Now, for me, due to the technology and internet, I can be talking to a room of 5,000 people. Hell, this stream right here, I'm sure it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on Twitch, it's on LinkedIn, it's on all these different platforms. And I'm sure there's a way for you to avoid. It's up to you what you want to do with your workspace, but for me, I want it to be able to talk to people at scale. I also want a versatile workspace like this. I know that I can't. This is my standing desk meant for educational content and doing things of this nature. My other workspace, like I said, is over here. These are two workspaces that I have. And this whole room right here, this whole studio is a workspace. My wife has a workspace over there. Our home workplace, again, these are just terminologies we're using here for the modern tech, or the creative tech, the modern workforce, all these damn labels. Essentially, the wife and I, she works from home 3 days a week and goes to the office twice a week. Her workspace at the office, her workspace here are both nice, really nice, clean, and they definitely represent her. At her office, she's confined to a cube, but she's making the best of it with decorations and pictures of her fam. Oh, did I show you guys what my wife got me for my anniversary? Now, we do a lot of shit for each other throughout the year. I feel like a dick because I didn't get her anything. I get her shit all the time. She gets roses every fucking month. And yeah, I'm happy to share that story with you guys, the roses story. It's something I've been doing since we first met, and I'm still able to do it, and I love her to death. And she's a priority to me, and I make sure that there's fresh roses every month for my wife on our dining table. But my wife made this little thing for me, which I thought was just absolutely adorable. This is the back of it, by the way. Here's the actual piece. How, in the best gayness possible, this is super gay, and I love it. God, I love that woman. I genuinely love this woman. Anyway. Our workspaces are all over the place. Yeah. Now, if I was to go back and work in a factory, that workplace, you're surrounded by a bunch of other people, and your workspace is usually confined to like a bench or a station of some sort. And some technology, some jobs have technology, some don't. I remember when I packed cups at International Paper, you would think just taking plastic bags of cups, stuff them in a box and taping it shut and throwing it on the conveyor belt. Not a lot of technology needed there, right? You just got to pencil in some numbers at the end of the day. The bosses come around and collect the numbers at the end of every shift, and they update those numbers into things, and they keep track of all the production going on. The technology here is in the cups being made themselves. These machines that are spitting out a paper cup every shit. Some of those machines, like the popcorn machine, that thing would take, you'd probably get one cup made every 3 seconds, 4 seconds, which people were like, well, that's a lot. Not when you got machines spitting out 20 a second. But yeah, like the technology, the machinery, heavy machinery. There's so much every place. So when we talk about the creative tech and a workspace, a creative tech knows how to walk into a workspace, understand that it needs to function and be a certain way to get the most out of it. Sometimes it could be as simple as a simple ergonomics shift where you rearrange things a little bit to where you can fluidly do your things with a smooth motion and have more production. And it's not always about production. It's about meeting the needs. So just because you can do 20 cups a second, should you? I would say if we have lots of quality issues running at 20 a second, why not drop it down to 10 cups a second, just to make sure we have quality consistency, especially if we're not having machinery breakage, things of that nature, when we tone it down a little bit. What's the need? How much production do we need to have? Does our environment, our workspace, does it provide us the ability to meet the demand? So many questions. I thought workspaces would be a good topic. Everything around what we're building right now with Ikora, the creative tech, Rigid 6. Why am I trying to do so much? They do say that if you want to do something, do one thing. Pick one thing and do it well. I have picked way too many things. And definitely a jack of many trades, master of one. And that's framing. That's mental capacity. Some people, I know there's a lot of people that would bend and break under the pressure. And I'm only starting. Like, how do I get past that first 1 million? Once I get past that first $1 million a year, it should all be uphill from there. I keep telling myself. But then I read stories where the first $1 to $3 million is going to be the hardest grind you've ever lived. And I'm like, man, if grinding the way I do now, and there's more factors. It's not just about how much you grind. You also have to have opportunity. My videos that I'm making aren't getting any traction because these are 1 hour discussions that are starting to get structured. So I want to make sure that my workspaces, even when I'm at the office, everywhere I go, I think about, can I collaborate with other people? What do I need to change about this setup at this office in order for me to feel good about having a live session at the office? I've had live sessions at the studio before, and I have a beautiful studio. In fact, I'm trying to get into the studio this weekend to get some shots done for LinkedIn. That's a new workspace for me as well, LinkedIn. I should have made that part of the discussion today. You don't just have your physical workspaces. Working in Teams, Microsoft Teams is a workspace. Working in SharePoint's a workspace. Well, Teams and SharePoint's the same thing. So yes, working in your 365 tenants is a workspace. On your machine, I mentioned that a little bit earlier about your desktop being a workspace. And using your workspace to collaborate effectively with others, and taking care of your workspace, keeping it clean, keeping it organized, keeping everything where it needs to be and maintained, because you don't want to be distracted when you're in the middle of that brainstorming session, or you have that idea you're on the cusp of figuring out this idea, and all of a sudden you got this distraction you have to deal with. So yeah, that was our discussion on workspaces today. I know that workspaces are just like seasons to me. They change. I like the current config. I've had this current config for like 2 years now, 3 years. It's starting to get to me a little bit. The couch being right here, this desk over here being in this corner like it is. This room feels tiny, even though not that bad of a room. It's pretty decent size. I mean, I got a lot of work to go through, and I need to get it cleaned up. Getting this bad boy out today. You want to see a sexy pair of legs? Legs that go all the way down. Woo-wee. Sexy. You shall not pass. I'm taking this bad boy to the studio. These are by far the best legs I have owned to date. And I'm going to do a shoot today, and I'm excited about it. Once I get some of my administrative tasks done. So, it's Memorial Day weekend, everybody. I strongly urge you to do something with your children to memorialize those that have sacrificed and gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country, for you and I to be doing what we're doing right now. I've said it on other streams, and I know this is the main live show for the big venture we're doing to help us with our other venture. Nonetheless, it's very important that there's a lot of people hurting because someone they love isn't with them anymore. And they get to live not in complete lack of fear, because if you watch the news today, that's all they're trying to do is scare the shit out of you. Just know that, even with the great divide in our country, I think that if shit really got bad, I think we'd still pull together, which is It's a really good feeling. I feel like maybe it's getting tense to the point to where maybe we would start imploding and fighting each other. I think some people are really like lost to the point where that could happen. Yes. Let's hope not. And if you are one of those that are hoping for something like that to happen and pushing for the chaos we don't need right now, I hope you get help. And drop all that bullshit for right now, because it's not about any of that this weekend. It's about your kids and making sure they're growing up safely, happily, and that we are protecting them by protecting our borders, protecting our streets, just. And for anybody that has lost their life, their families, like, it sucks. I'm sorry that you're going through this, and I want to thank you for your family sacrifice. Yep. All right. Other than that, eat lots of food. We're cooking out tonight. Pool's open. I'm getting off here, and I'm going to go enjoy my fucking weekend, y'all. I want you to keep it fucking heavy, keep it real, and we'll see you next time. Peace.